Hi guys, it's Katie here again from Creativa. I'm back to do another video, and today I'm going to make one of these little suitcases. So I have already done an introductory video which I will link here, which is all about these suitcases and all about the set of SVG files that you can get from my Etsy store to make these little guys yourself. Essentially this is it's the same set of SVG files that I've used to make this little one and this big one. I've just resized it in my electronic cutting software, so electronic cutting machine software. So in my case, in Cricut, I've just downsized it, this one here to shrink it down to make this one. Anyway, today I want to make one that is in between these two so that I have a nice little nest of three, and I think one in the middle here would be good, just sitting there like so. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'll put these away. Actually, I might leave this one out so I can refer to bits of that if I need to. Pop that one to the side, and it's so cute, I can't help looking at it. This is the set of SVGs that I used to make this little guy here. So I think we'll just go through my little booklet really quickly so I can tell you that this is the SVG files. There are 5 SVG files and to make this little guy here. So there's the base, and then there's each of the little pieces that go together to make this guy. The pieces in blue I have cut from cardstock, and the pieces in pink I have cut from the scrapbook paper. Okay, so these pink guys sitting on top of the mats. I haven't used the mats for everything today. So for instance, I've given you mats for these straps here, but I haven't used them because I wanted to just make them look like leather. But they are there if you wanted to use them yourself. Okay, so that's basically the SVG file. So let's just get making. Okay, so I have already cut out my pieces. Oh, I should say, I have got a list here of all the pieces that I'll be using today, and I'll put that in the description box, so you don't need to worry about writing anything down. I'll put this in the description box below, however you do that. Okay, but let's just start, shall we? So I have got here my bits to make my base, and I've got those, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Okay, alright, it looks like it's a confusing mess, but it's not really. I've labelled everything with the number, so hopefully we will get by. So let's start with the bases. So I've cut this out of quite thick cardstock. I honestly couldn't tell you what weight it is because it's actually the back of a notebook. I had some notebooks that I decided to use because I'd run out of normal cardstock, but it's quite thick. I would say it's at least 250 GSM. I'm not sure what that is in pounds, but it would be easy enough to Google it. I'd say it's at least that. Maybe no, I don't think it's 300. It's 250, let's call it 250 to 300. Anyway, so I have cut out, let's start with the top, shall we? So for the top, I've cut out one of the A1s, which is this guy here. And this guy here will be for the base. And then the sides, I have cut out 2 of the C2 pieces. So that's these guys here that I've cut out. And I've also cut out 2 of the C3 pieces, which are those guys there. So that's all we need to make the top. So let's pop that to the side, and we'll do the matting bit later. So this is just how to make the top section, this little skinny section here. Okay, so all we need to do, it's pretty simple. I have this has already been cut out by my Cricut. You can see this is not the nicest bit of cardstock, but I think we'll be okay because by the time we mat it, you know. Okay, and I need some glue. I am using my usual glue, which is Tiger Grip glue by Helmer. Here it is. this is all I've got left, and I went to the shop to get some more of this and they did not have it, so that was horrifying. So instead I got this one here, which I hope will be as good as the Tiger Grip, but I have this little bit of Tiger Grip left. So all we are going to do, I'll make that my inside, is attach these C3 pieces to this section here along these sides. I'll just turn it to the side like so. One on this side, one on that side. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just put some glue on this tab. I feel like I've forgotten to tell you something, but I'm not sure what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to line that one up on here. Terrible start for the lining up. I'm really good at this when I'm not filming, I promise. Okay, now I usually have a little rag somewhere, there it is, for wiping up my gluey mess. Somebody asked me the other day, this is just a dry rag, just to wipe up my gluey mess, nothing special, and they're those really cheap ones, so once it gets too gluey I can just throw it out. So I'm just making sure that it's really well stuck with my bone folder, and then I'll do the same on this side with this one. So one thing about these little suitcases is that I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say, if you don't put all the handles and things on them, they just look like gift boxes. So you know, if you didn't want to go to all the effort of putting the tags and things on, you could still use them as a gift box. And this one I have downsized from that large one, how they come in a quite big size. But the thing is that you can also change the height of these side bits. Let me show you on here. If you just change the height on these side pieces here, B1 and B2, and possibly C2 and C3, so C2 and C3 are these pieces here. This one here is C3 and this one here is C2. So, and then the B ones are these bottom ones here, right? B1 is the side and B2 is the front. If you only increase the size of those, if you made them taller, if you stretched them this way, you would be able to make your box taller. And this, if you increase the size of these two, you would make your lid taller. And or you could make the whole thing shorter and make it like a little briefcase. So, but you can also put everything together on the software and increase and decrease the whole thing by size, which is what I've done in this instance. But what I'm trying to tell you is they're really versatile. And just to play around, see what happens. I'm certainly going to be making some more of these because I love them. They're so divine. Okay. So I'm going to just pop that one here. So this is my C2 piece. It's the side of my top section. And I'll do the same on this one. So the other ones I made using different cardstock. It was still craft coloured, but it was different. It was not the back of a notebook. But I used all my cardstock. And yeah, yesterday when I went to buy more glue, I also went to buy more cardstock, and they didn't have any. And I had already ordered some online, but it's taking forever to arrive, and I couldn't wait. So here we are making out of the back of a notebook and hoping that it comes out okay. Alright, so then all we need to do is turn these little side guys in, put some glue on there, and pull it up together and line it up. So you get a nice corner like so. Just give it a little second to attach itself. I'm just going to squash it down with my bone folder. Might even clean up that gluey mess. I'm just going to make sure that it's still sitting nicely. And then I'm just going to do the same all the way around. Turn this little guy in here. Put some glue on here. Pop that one up. This is essentially exactly the same as the way we're going to build the bottom of the suitcase as well. Turn this guy in. I might do these two at the same time because it's always a bit difficult to get your glue bottle in on that last one. And this one. Oh, there's a lot of glue on there. Oh well. Put a bit more over here. Spread the glue. I'm going to pop that one across there like so. And this one here like so. Just going to give it a minute to set up. I will just run my bone folder along there and wipe up that glue. Make sure I haven't moved it out of place because I do that. Okay. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to leave this to set up a little bit more before I mess with it anymore. So let's just put this guy to the side. That's our top. Love it already. And we're going to do the same with our bottom. So for our bottom, we need another one of those A1 pieces. And then this time we're going to use the B pieces, right? So we have 2 of these B2s there that I've already creased all the score lines and inked around it, and 2 of the B1s here, which I have also done the same thing. Okay, so let me put that away, and we're just going to do exactly the same thing. This is really easy to put together. Whoops, sending things flying. Okay, so let's have a look at this guy. That can be our inside. And we're just going to put some glue along here. Way too much as it turns out. And slide that one right up along there. Along there. Whoop. Okay. I'll just burnish that. Wipe up my glue. And flip it around and do the same thing on this side. Now this is a different piece of cardstock. This might actually be cardstock. I don't know. We're just gonna, I'm just winging it with what I had and hoping that you will, by the time it's been matted and everything, you'll never know. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so I'm just lining those 2 up. Squashing it out. Okay. And then we have our sides again. So these guys here, I'm going to put some glue on this tab here. Like so, and then I'm just going to line him up on here. Wipe up the glue. And then this last one. So I have a bit of a fascination with these suitcases. I I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I have to do it now because I've told you. I want to put all the Christmas gifts in these little suitcases because I just want to have lots of little suitcases of all different sizes sitting under the Christmas tree. I don't know. I think I need to start making some boxes now if I'm going to get this done for Christmas. They might be quite small though because so my son is 20, so you know Christmas isn't a big deal in terms of presents for him now. All he ever wants is money. So I feel like I'd make some really itsy bitsy tiny little ones that you just put some money in and some chockies or something. So maybe it won't take quite so long. But if I made them quite small, then I could use 6x6 paper pads to mat them too. Oh, I so want to do it now with some snazzy Christmas paper. Okay, so I'm just doing exactly the same thing here with those little side tabs and bringing them up to meet in the corner, trying to make sure that it's pretty neatly lined up. If it's not, I have a trick. Okay, if this is not lined up very well, if it moves out of shape for whatever reason and you have a little lip, you could try cutting it off, or you could just grab an emery file and just run it along here until it was nice and flush. And then when you've done that and it sits nicely, then you can just go back and ink over it again and no one would know. Okay, so then I'll just go around and do this one. Line that up, squash it down. You can hear my next door neighbour's dog having a little bark. I'm not sure if you can hear that too. I had to put my little guy outside. I feel sure that as soon as I start recording he would get all mouthy and want my attention. Okay, so I'm just making sure that's pretty well attached. And then we'll do the last couple here. I'm sorry, this is a little bit repetitive, but it's hard to find another way to do it. Yep, she's next door neighbour's dog's having a good old bark. Okay. Just attach that pretty firmly. Wipe the glue off. You definitely want to use a glue that doesn't take too long to dry because you don't want to be sitting here holding onto it for ages. Okay, so then this one. So the glue I use because it's readily available here in Australia, but you just use whatever glue you like for construction purposes. And that one. Okay, and pop that one there like that. Okay, so that one's all done too. So, but you can see we have our suitcase, it's coming together. So I'm just going to put those to the side and let those set up. And we'll just do our next little piece here. So we'll bring this out. And I have these three pieces here. Let me show you what they are. I have cut out 2 of the D1 pieces and 1 of the D2 pieces, and that's these here. And again, I have already folded all the score lines and inked around them just to save a little bit of time. Okay, so that's our 3 there. So let's put that to the side. So this is the little insert that we are popping inside here, this little lip here. So it reinforces the sides of our bottom and also means that our top section sits down nice and flush with the bottom here. So this is what these 3 pieces here are. Okay. So I have this D1 piece. No, it's not. It's a D2 piece, and I'm going to attach my D1 pieces on either side. So I have one here and one here, and you can see I've cut it out of whatever I could find that looked vaguely craft-like. Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue on this tab. And then I'm just going to line those two up. I'm just going to line those two up and squash this down. Get some glue off there. Give it a squash. And then we'll do the same on this side. So we'll put some glue on here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, and line that up and squash that tab down. Looking good. Okay. Then we're just going to fold these top sections over and glue them down. That's just giving us a bit of extra strength because, you know, I see a lot of projects that people make and things that, you know, SVGs that people buy, and they look great, but they're a bit flimsy. I feel like they're a bit flimsy and they wouldn't last too long. And sometimes they don't look all that nicely finished because they just little things like this, just putting little tabs on here gives it a bit of extra strength and durability. And then it just hasn't, you know, it's a fold here, so that this section here is then got a nice finish. It's not just the end of the cardstock. That's why I like to do these little extra pieces here. So yeah, it takes a minute longer to put it together, but it just makes it more durable and a nice finish. And then this one. Okay. And then I just throw them, make sure I haven't got glue oozing out everywhere. And that guy's all done. So that one we can just pop aside for the moment. Let's go back to this guy here, the base that we've done. And we have these little tabs here too, and all we're going to do with those is also put some glue along there and turn those over, and again it just gives it a nice finish and makes the edges a bit more durable. So I'm just going to do that all the way around here. Just pop that over like so, and we won't see that tab at all once we've matted. And then this one. And fold that one over. Squash it down. This notebook stuff just it's pretty thick. It doesn't want to just sit down flat when I put the glue on. I have to give it a bit of a burnish. I'll give this one a bit of a burnish. And then this side. Squash that down. Give that a bit of a burnish. And then my last one, my last little guy. I never get enough glue on the edges. We'll sort that out in a minute. And this one here. Fold that one over and down. Give that one a bit of a burnish. Come on, stick. I don't know if I used enough glue. Can't believe I said that. We'll make up for it with way too much glue. That's it. It's oozing out everywhere now. Okay. Right, that one's being a bit pesky. If I've got a bulldog clip somewhere. I've got one nearby. I'm just going to pop a little bulldog clip just to hold that guy in place for a minute. Okay, so I'll just go around and wipe up my glue. Okay, and then I'm just going to just really gently just run around the top of this with my bone folder to give it a bit of a straight edge along here. I mean, it looks pretty good anyway, but, and then because I can't help myself, I'm just going to put a little bit more distress ink on there, and I'm also going to take that guy off now, run that along there. So you can see this piece here is obviously thinner cardstock than this piece, and it's got a bit of a warp in it, but that's okay because we're going to use our insert here, and that will help straighten that up. But before we put the insert in, I'm just going to run around my edges once more with a bit of distress ink because I want it to look nice and distressed. On the inside as well. I am using walnut stain today. I've been using walnut stain quite a bit lately actually. You know, I think I'm lazy. I get one out and then I just work with that until it's kind of a dry, horrible mess, and then I swap over. And I could really do with changing the sponge on this because these sponges, they just don't last very long before they start to sort of crumble away. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, so this piece here we are going to put in here, and I'm going to put mine up against this wobbly side. I'm just going to do a bit of a dry fit first, so I'm just going to pop it in here because there's a good chance that these little side pieces will be too long. It depends on what thickness of cardstock you're using, which is a little bit hard to determine. So I'm putting it in here so that that little lip is actually hidden under here and that you can't see in here, okay? So then that looks okay. That looks okay. And I feel like maybe I could take a little sliver off the edge of this one. I don't know, is this fitting in here perfectly well? Or could I get away with it? I think it's going to be okay. But one thing I am going to do before I glue that in is I'm going to use my corner rounder on these two little pieces here just so they don't jut out. So I'll just give that a bit of a corner around there and there, like so. And I'll just ink this one up as well, both sides. Okay, so now we're good to go. So I'm actually going to put my glue on the inside of my box. So let me spin that all the way around awkwardly. And I'm putting it on my box and not on my piece that I'm fitting in it because this is the smaller section. Come on, glue. I'm getting towards the end of my tiger grip glue. Doesn't want to come out. I think it's time to change over. I think I'm going to need this one. Whoops. Sorry for that noise. Okay, so we have a new glue. Premium craft glue. Better be as good. I don't like this. I have to squeeze that one really hard. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in that way around so that this nice clean side is on the inside. I'm just going to slide that in here. Right down to the bottom, if you can see, like so. And then give it a really good press right into those corners. So, oh, my glue just, oh, it just did that eruption thing. Oh. Okay, so now you can see this, there's this little lip that we've just put in here. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue along here. So I might actually find that little bulldog clip that I just hurled over here. I'll just hold this little section back while I put some glue on here. There's all this glue that's just erupted out. Oh, I really have to squeeze this bottle too. Oh, it's a gluey nightmare. Okay. And it's stuck to my finger. Alright, so I'm putting glue on this side here. At least I'm trying. Okay, I'm not winning any friends with this bottle. Okay. Come on out. Don't be so difficult. It's really hard to press this bottle and get anything out. I've opened it as far as it will open. I don't know if it's the glue or the bottle, but one of them's not working for me. Like, it doesn't want to come out of the bottle. Sorry. Sorry you have to live through this. Okay. Wow. I feel like this glue is going to be dry by the time I put it down. Okay. Alright, and then I'll just release that one and press that one in nice and firmly. How do we look? Okay, so then we've got that little edge there pressed in. And I need to do the same with this one. So I'll just hold him back again. I'm hoping this glue and I are going to become a bit more friendly. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I have to squeeze so hard. It's the bottle and not the glue. Okay, so then I'm just going to slide this one down and into place. Put a good burnish. Oh, I tell you, that glue's a bit whiffy. Whew. How are we going? That looks good too. I'm happy with that. Okay, I feel like that glue might be okay, even though it's a bit difficult to get out. So that's our bottom box, and then we need to go, we'll just put that aside for now. We need to come back here. This one's nice and dry now. I need to just go around and glue those tabs down there as well, all the way around here. So I might go and do that off camera, and then come back and we'll put it together, and I might deal with my glue saga. I might try and transfer this glue into this bottle, and because this is really nice and soft and squidgy. So I'm just thinking, what else can I show you in the meantime? Alright, so I'm going to go away and glue that up, but there was one thing I could also show you. All these little pieces that for the straps on here that I've already cut out. So I have cut out this D3 piece here is the piece for these straps. Now I have made it into a strap that will fit on your 12 by 12 cutting mat, but we need to join them together. But before I do that, So I've cut out 8 of these because I'm using 4 for each one of these because they wrap all the way around. Before I do that, what I have done for these ones is just lay them out on a piece of paper. Just move this out the way. And I have run along here with a bit of this distress stain. I don't know that you can still buy these in these bottles, but I have spares. So I just wanted to give it this look like this, of that, you know, aged leather look. So I am just going along all of my little guys like this, and it doesn't take too long to dry. I'm not even worried about it looking too neat. So I just go along, and I've done that for all, I will do that for all of these. And then I have also cut out this guy here. So this one here doesn't have the tab on it like this one. And I've only cut out one of those, and that one is B3. So I've cut out one of those B3 ones. It has a mat, so you could put a mat on this if you wanted to, but I am running with the no mat theme for my straps. So I've cut out one of those, and that is for this handle piece here at the front. If you can see that, this little handle here. So I'm also going to put some of the distress stain on that one. And then I have also cut out these little skinny guys here. And I've cut out 4 of those. Now I'm not sure that we actually need 4, but while I'm cutting, I thought I may as well do that. So these are these little skinny guys here, E3. I've cut out 4 of those, and I'm also going to put the distress stain on all 4 of those. And then I have these little guys here, which are our little corners here. So I have cut out 8 of those. These are E4. So if we have a look on here, I've already got glue and stuff all over there. We have a look on here. That's this E4 guy here. I've cut out 8 of those, and again, I'm not matting them, but you absolutely can if you want to. The mat's there for you. So I've cut out 8 of those, and I'm going to put my distress stain on all of those. And then lastly, I have got one of these guys here. I think it's lastly, yeah. This E1 piece here is bag tag. I've cut out one of those, and I'm also going to put the distress stain on that. I've also cut out the mats, but I'll show you those in a minute. So while I'm gone, I will distress stain all of these. I will finish folding these tabs over here, and I'll deal with my glue saga, and when all that's done, I'll come back and we'll continue on. Okay, thank you. See you soon. Okay guys, I'm back, and here is our box. It looks quite neat. I did popped the tabs around the edge of this top section all the way around. I was a little bit rough on this corner, and it popped open, so I've just put a bit of masking tape there, and hopefully it will be okay once I mat it. And we're also going to put these little corners on, so I think that might help a little bit. So, but I think I'll put it at the back where it doesn't suffer too much, as much damage or as much use as at the front. Okay, so then it just pops on here. I'm trying to be careful because of that corner. Actually, what I'll do is we'll do the next bit, which is sticking it together. So to do that, we just need this one piece here, which is C1. So I've tried to make this blue suitcase so that you don't need all the metal hardware that you would that you can put on it, of course, but just so you don't have to have that metal hardware, I have included this C1 piece here, which I've cut out of the cardstock, and that's just going to be our hinge to hinge the 2 pieces together. So if you had metal hinges and you wanted to put them on the back here, you could definitely do that. I'm not going to. But I also think that if you were to put the metal hinges on, it wouldn't hurt to also put this little guy on there as well. So basically all we need to do is apply some glue to this and stick it on here. So let's see how I go with the glue. I now have both types of glue in my glue bottle, and I'm hoping that will be okay. So I'm just going to run some, oh, coming out, it's coming out. Put some glue on the back section here. Got this C1 hinge piece, and then I'm just going to slide it on like in here and butt it up so that it's sitting on that fold, is sitting on that top section of my box. I might shuffle it over a little bit, and when I'm happy with where it's sitting, I'll just give it a bit of burnish. We'll see how this glue goes. Make sure it's well stuck down. Okay, so now I think this is probably the trickiest bit, because we want to put this top section, and I'm looking for that dodgy corner. Where's my dodgy corner? It's going to be on the back. I'm going to pop that on there and somehow get the glue to stick. Somehow. We'll just give it a go. So I'm just going to pop this glue. I wonder if I should bend it back that way. I'm just going to pop some glue on here. I think this is the trickiest bit, because when you pop this on, you can't sort of get your fingers in there without upsetting the hinge to make sure that it's stuck on. So that's how my box is going to close. See, so now I really want to be able to burnish this section and make sure that it's stuck down, but I can't. If I open it, it'll move. So you just need to sort of finagle it a little bit. I'm just lightly pressing it, just hoping that it sticks enough. And we might just, I'm thinking, let's see if I can open it up. And once it's stuck enough, just put my fingers in there and sort of give it a burnish with my fingers. It looks like it's okay. So now I might just leave that closed for a bit. Wait for that glue to set up, and now we can put our mats on. So I have already cut out all my mats, and I'm putting the outside mats on, not the inside mats. So this is my little collection of mats. So it's all in the list, but I'll just give you a brief run through. So I've got 2 of these A2 mats for the outside. So these are going to be my top mats. Yeah, I'm going to have one like that and one on the bottom. And then I have these 4 skinny ones, which are 2 of the C2 mats and 2 of the C3 mats. And they're going to go around the skinny edges here. And then I have cut the B mats. The B mats. Okay, I have cut 2 of the B4s and 2 of the B5s, and they are going to be our mats that go around the bottom half here, all the way. You can't see, I don't know why I'm pointing it out to you. It's way over here off camera, sorry. Okay, so we have the top mats, and we have these guys here, which are the skinny mats, which are going to go around there. And then we have these B mats, which are going to go all the way around here. And as I say, they'll be in the list. So that's what I'm going to do on my outside, and I'm not going to mat the inside just yet. So then the other thing that I wanted to show you, because I can do that in a minute, is that I have gone ahead and put that distress stain on all my pieces. So now this one here is my B3, and this is my front strap. Let's move this guy out of the way. This is my front strap, this little guy here. So it's got folds on each side just to strengthen it and give it a nice finish. So all we need to do is grab our glue and run some glue along there, like so. Fold those over and press them down. I might not have used enough glue, like so. Oh, glue. Okay, and I've got glue on my bone folder. Okay, so that's going to be our front handle. And I'm going to just give that some little round corners just to make it nice and neat. Probably can't do that while it's got glue on it. Yeah. Still a bit wet from the glue. But that's okay, we shall persevere. And this side. Okay, and I might just need to trim those little bits off with my itty bitty scissors. Yeah, like so, and this one. Okay. So then, that one's all ready to go. And then it's absolutely your choice how you make all your little handles and straps and things. So what I have done is I have sewn down the edges of all my little strips here, as you can see. And I have also run it through the embossing folder and just embossed it. So on this one here I did little dots. And for the big one, so this is leftover strip from this one. It's got the little dots on it, and I have run the some stitching down there. So that it looks like a leather strap. And this is the one that I did for the big suitcase, and this is just a different embossing folder. I really like that one, I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to do the same with all of these strips as well. So I will sew around here, and well, I'll emboss it first and then I'll sew all the way around there. So that's our handle, and I'm going to do it for all of my strips. And I'm also going to do it for these little guys here, but I did want to show you something on these. So these are my corner pieces. Now, if you're going to put some, or if you're going to put some brads here, I suggest that you make the holes on it before you put it on here, so that you can get the placement of the holes correct. So what I've done is I've just made a little mark here where I decided I sort of roughly wanted to put the holes. So in this instance, it's just an equal distance from this side, and then an equal distance from this fold, and put a little dot there. And then I'll just get out my little punch. So you can use a crocodile, or I'm going to use my leather punch on the smallest setting and just put a hole there. And then I'm just going to fold it over. It doesn't match perfectly. Maybe it would match better that way. Still not perfect. My folding abilities apparently aren't that flash, but I don't think anyone will know. So then I'm just going to put that hole there. And then I'm going to fold it that way and just go through that hole as well, like so. Then I have 3 holes, and they're pretty much in exactly the same spot, if you can see that. Then what I'll do is just use this one as a template and make those holes through a few of these at a time, just like this. Just make sure that I'm really happy with how lined up they are. And then I'll just pop a hole, I'll just use that one as a template and put those holes in there. It's easier than trying to find the center point or the point where you want to put it on once it's already on the suitcase. So for this for this little guy, this is the first one I made, and I did measure each little corner once after I'd stuck it on, and it was really time consuming, but this was, doing it this way was much, much quicker. And the other thing is, on the big one, on the big suitcase that I've made, I also have stitched around the edges of these little circles, and I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to try and do the same thing again with these ones here. So when I stitch them, I'm stitching them while they're still flat, obviously, and just going around the edge. It's a bit tricky, so I'm hoping it will work out okay. But obviously you don't have to do that, and you don't have to do any of the stitching if you don't want to. It's just, that was just what I chose to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put my holes for my brads in here, in all of these, and then I'm going to put each of these, I'm embossing each of those and stitching around those so that they're ready for that process. And then we have these little skinny guys here, which we've already looked at. This is E3, and I've cut out 4 of these. I don't know if I'm going to need all 4. That's E3 here, and there is a mat for that if you wanted to mat it, but I'm not going to. Again, this is just folding it over and gluing them together. So let's just do one of these so you can see that. You know, I've provided mats for things, but I'm not necessarily using them, and that's just because for this one I didn't want to, but you know, that's not to say that for other suitcases that I wouldn't put the mats on. So it's completely up to you, and all the embellishing and everything, I mean, you can do anything you want. I'm just showing you what I've been doing, but of course it's completely up to you how you want to embellish these, what kind of paper you're going to use on them, all of that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this one over. But as I say, I think they look super in Christmas paper, so I'm kind of keen on that. I think they really lend themselves to everything, I think. So I'm sort of making mine sort of florally and vintagey, but I think that you could equally make them to look shabby chic or quite modern. You could do anything. Okay, so that's really that little skinny E3 piece, and I will run a stitch up and down the edges of those ones as well. So that's those. And then this one here, we have 8 of these. So let's have a look. This is the D3, and again, there's mats for those if you want them, but I'm not using the mats today. So these are for the long straps that go all the way around, and because of the size of the mat that you might use with your electronic cutting machine, I've kept them less than 12 by 12, but of course we need them to be longer, so we need to glue them together. So to do that, all I do is apply a little glue to this tab here, if the glue wants to play, and then just flip it over and lay it down on this one here like so. Line it up and just, oops, and it wobbles out of place. Line it up, press it down, let's give it a little burnish. Okay, and then another one, and I'm going to do 4 of these in a row for each strap. So I need 2 straps, so 2 lots of 4. Okay, so then there's that one. Line it up, press it down, like so. Wipe up the glue. 1, 2, 3, one more. And then this one here, number 4. Just slide that one along, and then just press that one down, like so. And then just wipe that down. Okay, so that's one of my straps. So now all I need to do is go along and apply some glue along this little tab here and fold that one over. And it sort of encapsulates that tab as well, so it just makes it a little bit stronger. I'll just give that a burnish. Like so. And then this one here. Fold that one over and press it down. Like so. And then I'm just going to go along and do that all the way along here, and then that'll make one of our straps. Oh, that's a lumpy bit of glue in there. Okay, so then that will be one strip all the way along like so, and then I will sew down the sides of that one as well, so it will look like this down each side. And I'm going to make 2 straps, so there's 4 on this one, and then I will glue these 4 together and do exactly the same thing with those. Okay, so that's that one. We'll put that one there. And then the last thing is the little bag tag. Now, we need the mat, etc. for this one. So what I have got here is a little piece of acetate, which is the same as the mat for this one. So let's go over here. So I've cut out the E5 mat, 1 out of paper and then 1 out of acetate. And what we need to do is, on one of these sides I've written, but it's that side, so I think I'm going to put my piece of acetate on here. So let's see if this glue works okay with the acetate. I'm just going to run around the edge here. And try. I might have needed to use my skinnier glue bottle. Too late now. Just run around there. This glue is quite a bit stringier than the other glue that I had. Okay, and then, where's my acetate? There it is. It's gone! I'm going to pop that on here. And press it down. Like so. Looks good. It seems like it's sticking. It seems like it's sticking better than the other stuff, to be honest. Okay. And then on this side, I can put this little mat on here. So I'm going to use this other glue for my matting. It's just a bit cheaper. I'll put my mat on here. Yes. Just had this sudden, oh, am I putting it on the right side? I am. It's okay. Put this on here. I don't suppose it matters which way, really. I'll pop that sort of centered on there. Like so. And then all we do is flip it over, and now you can see where the gluey mess is. Right in the middle there. I'll fix it up later. We will glue, you can either glue around the edges here, around these 3 edges, and leave this one open so you can pop something in there, or you can stitch around it. So what I did for this one, which is attached, so it's a bit tricky to show you, but to stitch around here, I actually had to do that separately first. So first of all, I stitched down here and down here, and then you can see it kind of just finishes. I probably should have gone 1 stitch further, and then I folded it over, and then I stitched all the way around that edge there and left this bit open here so that this little enjoy the little things slides in and out. If I knew where my tweezers were, there they are. So then I can just slide things under that acetate in and out like so. So that's one way that you could do the little bag tag. Oh, now I can't get it back in. We'll just leave it. Okay, so that's the little tag. So let's put that to the side. Okay, so I think I've shown you all of those bits and pieces that need doing. So I will go and do all of that now. So I'm going to do my stitching and my embossing and finish gluing my straps together and putting the holes in my little corners. So when I've done all of that, I'll come back and then we can, oh, and I'm also going to put the mats on the actual suitcase itself. So when I've done all of that, I'll come back and then we can apply all the straps and corners and things together. All right, so I'll see you again soon. Okay guys, I'm back and I've got a little stash of goodies. So while I was gone, I have matted the outside of my suitcase all the way around. It actually is just a box at this stage, and it really just is a box, I guess. I've not done anything to the inside, but I have, let's put that to the side for a minute. I have done both of my long straps, so I finished gluing them together. I stitched down each side and I've run them through my Big Shot with an embossing folder just to give it this embossed look. So I think that looks pretty cool. I've done those too. And then I have done the handle in the same way, so that's the handle. And then we had 4 of these that I have also stitched down both sides, those little skinny straps. And 3 of them I've actually already cut up. So these are our little loops that the straps are going to run through. Let me grab the little one. These are these little guys here that the straps are going to run through. So what I did was, I thought I'd save you having to watch me do this, but basically I just measured how wide my strap was and then added just a little bit more, and so that I sort of measured it so that this guy here would fit over the top. I have looped it over on both sides just to give it a neater finish and glued it down, and then I've put my holes in both sides. So I used 3 of these strips to make 12 of these little guys here. So this one is 3 centimeters long. So it was 5 centimeters long, and I've just turned over 1 centimeter on each side, glued it down, and then put my little holes in it ready for my brads. So I have also sewn around my bag tag, so that's ready to go. It's just got that side opening here, so I can pop something in there if I want to. And then I have also sewn around each of these little corners that we're going to put on the corner, like so. So I've sewn around those and I've run those through the embossing machine as well. So now we can just put it all together. So let's put this to the side. I won't put the whole thing together. I'll just show you how we go about it. So I made a little template. Where's my little template? So basically I just wanted to decide where I wanted my strap to sit on top of my box. And once I've worked that out, I just cut this piece of paper here, the length of my box and the width away from the edge that I want my strap to sit. So I want my strap to sit here like that, right up against there. Then I decided where I wanted my little hooky things to go. And so I decided that I wanted them to go there and there. So what I can do is lay my strip out like this, and then I decided where I wanted these to go, and I put a little hole here to match this guy here, so that it would be easier for me to just draw those little holes in. So so basically I'm just going to line this up along the edge. And then I'm going to find a pencil and just draw a little hole, that little hole in there. And then I'll just flip it over, and I'll do it this way too. I'm just going to turn it around because, you know, I'm right-handed. I can only do things one way. Whoops! Don't press that hard. Oh, did I just tear that? I think I might have. I might have to give that a little bit of attention on the inside. That wasn't very clever of me. I'm just going to lay that one out there. I've really messed that up now. And then just draw, whoops. Just draw those circles there and there. And I'll just make them a little bit darker because I can't see them, like so, and like so. And I have just pushed that edge through, so I'm going to have to fix that up on the inside. I'll just put a bit of glue and a bit of tape or something in there, so try not to do that. I haven't done that for any other one, any other suitcase, and then I've done it twice for this one. So it might be the cardstock. You know how I just used some random bits of stuff that I had laying around because my delivery hadn't come. My delivery just came though. But I'm halfway through the project now. In fact, I'm more than halfway through. So I'm just doing the same thing on this bottom as well because I'm going to put some little guys on the bottom. So I'm just going to draw those little holes where I want them to be, so then they'll be pretty well lined up on both sides. That one and that one, like so. So then let's work on the side that I didn't just mess up. Maybe I'll just put a little tape on there. So here I am doing what you shouldn't have to do. Fixing up my boo-boo. I really think it must have been the notebook stuff that I used, because like I say, I didn't have this problem with the large one or the small one that I've already made. Okay, well, I'm just going to put a bit of tape on here, which will not be able to be seen once we put some mats on there. So I'll just make that hold it for now, and I'll fix it up proper later. That's annoying. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my awl and just really carefully poke a hole where those holes, where I put those little circles, which I need to try and find. One there, and where was the other one? One there. As I say, I won't do them all because you know, it'll be boring for you. But then I'm just taking these little guys here that we have, and some brads, and I'm just going to feed my brad through here and through here, and then on the other side here I can just push that down like so. And then I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and straight, and when I think it's nice and straight, I will just draw that hole there, flip it over, and can I see where I just drew that? Just there, I think, looks like. And just put a hole in there, and then put my braid in that one, and just open the little legs. So I will do that for the 4 on the top and the 4 on the bottom using that little template. I'm not going to put any on the front because we're going to put the handle there, although you could if you wanted to, but I am going to put some on the back. So what I would do is use my little template to decide, actually, okay, so let's just put a line here, shall we? I'm just going to draw a really faint line down my little template side there. And then I'm just going to measure this and decide roughly where I want it to go. I think I'd be happy with it about, maybe about there. So then I will just line this up with my little, where that little hole, where I put that. just like so, and put a hole there. And then I will just put a hole in there and do exactly the same thing again, so that once we've got all the way those through, then I can just run my little strip through each of my little catches like that to hold it on. Right, so that's how we will do those, and I will go ahead and do the rest of those while you don't have to watch that because it's a bit repetitive. So the next thing is these little corner guys, and these are really nice and easy. So I've got this little tab here, and we just need to put some glue on the back. So I'm hoping that my glue is going to play. This is this new glue, and I'm still deciding whether I like it or not, but I am stuck with it, so I'll have to work with it. Okay, and then I'm just going to put a little run of glue along that little guy there. And then this is my front, so I think I put my tab towards the back, and then it should just fold over, and I just put my tab at the front. That wasn't very clever, never mind. And then just lay that down with that tab underneath like so, and then just give it a nice firm push. Make sure that it's well adhered, it's not going anywhere. And we've already put the little hole marks in there for the brads, so now I'll just come along with my awl and put that little hole in there, and then put the brads in each of those. I want to be careful because I don't cause any more damage than I've already done. There's a few layers going on there, so okay, so then I can put a brad in here. I can try. Right, flip it over and just close those little legs. So I will go and do that on all 3 of the holes for each of those corners, and I've got 8 corners, so 4 on this side and then 4 on the bottom side, so that's that one. Then there was the handle. So for the handle, basically I just want to decide whereabouts I'm going to put my handle on this section here, this bottom wide section. And when I've decided where that is, the handle's as long as my suitcase. I'm actually going to bring it in a little bit so that I get that handle effect. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe, let's have a look, shall we? Might use my ruler. Would that be too far down? I feel like it might be. Let me decide where am I going to put the handle. Maybe about there. So let's say that I'm going to put it at, I'm going to line up the top of it here, and then the top of it. So hard to do with the camera. Here. Whoop. And then I will just run a bit of a line from there to there. Just basically those 2 edges should be fine. And then I think I'll come in, because I want it to do that thing where I push it in. I think I need it to come in about 1 centimetre from each end. So I'll put a mark there at 1 centimetre, and I will put a mark here at 1 centimetre, and that is going to be where the edge of my handle lines up. There, like so, and there, like so. And I've already marked some little circles here, and it's about 1 centimetre in and from each end, and I'm going to put some holes in there. Let's do that. I'll just do one side so you can get an idea. Right, so then I would line this up here along there like so, and just put my little mark there, and that will be where I'll put that brad, and of course then this guy here will be 1 centimetre away there. And then all I will do is once I have run this through, it's going to run through here like this, is I'll just decide where I'm going to put a brad, and I'll put another brad here on this side of this strap. Like, let me show you. Oh, this is just how I do it too. I mean, you can do it any way you like, but you can see I've come in from the edge, I've put a brad on each side, then I've run my strap through, and then I've decided where I'm going to put my brad on each other side, and so that's created a little loop for the strap to come through, and that makes it, you know, stay closed, and it also gives us the little handle. So that is how I would do the handle. Okay, so that I think is everything that I need to show you, but I don't want to take all day about doing it on camera because there's 12 of these little guys and there's hundreds of these little brads and that sort of thing, but I just wanted to show you about using the template to line it up on the top and the bottom, and yeah, just how I centered the handle on the front, and also how I made these little catches that go on there. So I want to do all of that, and then once I've done that, we need to mat the insides. We could probably do a pocket now. Let's do a pocket. Pop this out of the way, and I'll cut a pocket for the inside. So that is in here. E2, I've cut one of those, and I've also cut one E6 mat, and this is going to go on the inside, just along here, so that we've got a pocket on that back section there. Okay, so I've already cut that out. So here's my E2 pocket, and I have inked all the way around it, and I'm just going to fold this top tab over and glue it down just for a bit of extra strength. So let's do that, like so. Glue that down. I'm going to fold it somewhere. Wipe up my glue. Okay, and then I can just attach my mat on straight away. So this is my E6 mat. I think it's meant to go up that way. I just use a different glue for my mats. It's an acetate glue. It's just it's called Crafter's Choice. It's just the one that's really handy if you live in Australia, that you can easily buy from Spotlight. But any sort of acetate glue that doesn't make the paper warp is the way to go. If it will come out, let's try again. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm having so many glue problems lately. Okay. So this, you know, putting this pocket in is entirely optional. You don't have to. I just, you know, thought it would look cool. And so that's going in there, like so. Run that along there, like so. Right, so then with this last one here, I was thinking about attaching this along here with some little bumps in it so that you could put some bits and pieces in there, or at least it would look like you were putting a pen or something in there. So what I might do is turn it in 1 centimetre. So I'll just mark 1 centimetre on here, and then fold that little 1 centimetre bit over. Right. And I have some little scissors. I'm just going to trim off these little corner bits here so they don't stick out. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. And squash it down. Still waiting to see how good or effective this glue will be. So I want that to stick. I might just grab a paper clip for a minute and stick that on there like that. Just to hold that in place while it dries. So I'm thinking, let's measure. I'm a measurer. What can I say? Let's say that I want it to be about this far down. And it's whatever you want it to be. I'm not telling you the measurement because it's wherever you want it to be. So then I'll just draw a line, a very faint line along there that I can erase later. And let's have a little look here. Okay, it's taken a little bit to stick, but I'm just going to put a little hole in that end. And if I line that up just on the edge, so maybe I'll come in a little fraction, and I'll just put a mark there, and then I'll put a hole in here. So there's, yeah, I'm just putting this where I think I want it to be. And then I will put a brad in here. So I'll just weave that in. I'll try. You think you have really good fine motor skills until you get a hold of a brad. Okay. So I'm just going to sort of get it to curl a little bit if I can. So my idea was, let's use a fatter pen, shall we? My idea was that I wanted this idea that I could put a pen in here if I wanted to. Now I probably won't, but I just want to make it look like it. So I'm just going to bend this over like so on that line, and I'm going to put a mark here where I think I want to put it and a mark here where I think I want to put it. And then I'm just going to work out, well, I'll say that would be about, let's make it here because I just like some kind of even numbers. Actually, no, let's make it a little less. Let's make it here, for my sake, it's 4 centimeters right from this end. And then this little mark here that I made was, let's say 3 centimeters, right? So then I'm going to put a hole in here at the 4 centimeter mark. And I'm going to put a hole, just here where I put that little mark. So then this should curl up when I put this little guy in here, like so, and like so. And then I'll just close that up. And we have this kind of little hooky bit there. And I feel like it might be a little bit high, but that's okay, I can fix that. So now I know that I came over 3 centimeters here from this brad to that brad, and I think it was 4 centimeters to do that little round section. So now I'll measure across here 4 centimeters, and from here on the pocket 3 centimeters, and put another loop so that they're sort of roughly the same all the way along. So that's what I'll do for that one. Okay, so I'll finish my pocket and I'll put all my little bits on, and I could probably mat the inside, and well, I could probably finish it off, and I'll come back and show you when I finished it all off. So yeah, I'll do all of that and I'll be back again soon. Okay, see you soon. Alright, so I'm back and I have finished attaching all of the bits and pieces, which I have to say is the most time-consuming part of this project. Making the actual little box that becomes your suitcase takes no time at all, and of course it is just a gift box if you don't, or a storage box, or whatever you want it to be. If you don't put all of the straps on, then you can just use it as a gift box or a storage box, and of course you can make them any size you like. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. I put the little gift tag on, and this is just a little brooch, an old brooch, and I just kind of rusted it up, and it's just it just fitted on there nicely, so I did that. On the inside, I wanted to mention a couple of things. So there's the pocket that we made, and I put this little bit on here so I can put some things in there when I get around to it. But I just wanted to mention about the mats for the bottom inside here. So you remember we put this insert in here, and that's just a little bit taller on these three sides. So you need to use the mat for the inserts on this side, and this side on the inside. So just to remind you, the pieces that you need to do that is 2 of the D4 mats, and there's these side mats here, that's those 2, and then 1 of the D2 mats, 1 of the D5 mats I should say. So 2 D4 mats, 1 on each side, and then 1 D5 mat at the front here, and then at the back we're just using 1 of the normal B5 mats. Okay, so that's what's going on the back here. I just wanted to mention that. But as I say, I have a list of all the pieces that I've used, and I will put this list in the description box so that you don't need to remember how many of each piece to cut out or anything like that. And the only other thing I should say is that on here I haven't written down all of the mats that come with, say, with the straps, because I didn't use them. But there are mats for every single piece. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. I managed to fix up the little corners that had gone a bit funny, and the reason they had done that was because I used, as I said, just the back of a notebook, and it did kind of crumble a little bit on the fold, and so I think that's what happened, but I fixed it, and you can't tell, and of course these little corners here reinforce it even more, so that's pretty good. So these little guys just slide in here. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to mention. These 2 straps, when we made them, were too long, so I have cut off the remainders. So you also probably need to just trim a little bit off each of your straps to make them fit, but you might want to make them longer and stretch back around, or whatever you want to do. So, but I just thought I'd mention that I did that as well. So there's that little guy, my little medium-sized suitcase. So now I have 3 suitcases. So this guy here, and on this one here I've put a couple of rusty eyelets on there, but I haven't done that with this one because that one's going to go on top. And then this bottom one, my big one, this one has also got those little eyelets on here as well, so I thought I would just leave the middle one plain. So now I have 3 gorgeous little suitcases that I'm just going to use them as little decor items, I think, because I love them so much. They're so groovy. But of course this one will fit in with one of the big 6-page Esencia albums, and I've just downsized them to make their little ones, and you can go even smaller again. So anyway, thanks very much for joining me today, and I'm sorry if this is a really long video, but I wasn't really sure where to break it up, so I thought I'll just keep going and you know, get it all done in one go. But you can of course pause it and come back to it as you need to. So anyway, thanks very much. I really hope that you enjoy making little suitcases because I think they're so cute. And I will see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and bye. Bye for now. Bye.